Story title: The Mountain and the Candle. In a small village surrounded by misty mountains, there lived a boy named Raffi. From his window, he could see the highest peak of all Mount Siren. Its top was always covered in clouds, shining golden at sunrise. Every villager feared that mountain. Legend said that whoever tried to climb it would vanish into the fog, never to return. But Raffi was different. Every morning, he looked up at the peak and whispered, "One day, I'll stand there." His mother would sigh, "Dreams are fine, my son. But some mountains are not meant to be climbed." Raffi would smile. "Then I'll be the one who proves they can." When he turned 16, Raffi decided it was time. He packed a loaf of bread, a flask of water, and a small candle his mother gave him. "For the nights," she said, "and for hope." The villagers laughed when he left. "The boy will come running back by sunset," they said. But Raffi didn't. The first few hours were easy, the air fresh, the ground steady. He whistled as he walked. But as he climbed higher, the path grew steep and the fog thickened. He slipped more than once, scraping his knees on sharp rocks. At dusk, he reached the ledge and sat down. He lit his candle. Its flame flickered weakly against the cold wind. "Why am I doing this?" he whispered. The mountain said nothing. The next day was harder. Rain poured, turning the soil into mud. Raffi's bread got wet, his shoes torn. He fell, bruised his arm, and almost turned back. But then he remembered his mother's candle. He took it out and stared at the tiny flame still glowing faintly. "If this candle can survive the storm," he muttered, "so can I." He kept going. By the third day he was exhausted. His lips were dry, his legs trembling. The mountain seemed endless. Every time he reached what looked like the top, another slope appeared. At one point he sat in despair. "No one will know if I stop here," he said to himself. "No one will care." But then he remembered something his teacher once said: "Perseverance is doing what matters, even when no one is watching." So he stood up again. Step after step, breath after breath, he climbed. On the fifth morning, as the first rays of sunlight broke through the fog, Raffi reached the peak. The clouds parted, revealing the world below his tiny village, the river winding like silver, the sky turning gold. He stood there, trembling, his heart full. He took out the candle, now melted and small, and placed it on a rock. He lit it one last time. The wind blew, but the flame did not die. Raffi smiled. "You and I made it," he whispered. When he returned to the village days later, he was covered in dust and bruises. The villagers stared in disbelief. "You actually reached the top?" one of them asked. Raffi nodded. "It wasn't the mountain I had to conquer," he said softly. "It was myself." From that day the villagers stopped calling Mount Siren cursed. They began calling it the Mountain of Light. And at night, when the clouds cleared, they swore they could still see a faint glow at the summit, Raffi's candle, burning quietly against the wind. Moral of the story: perseverance isn't about never falling, it's about rising every time you do. True strength isn't in reaching the top, but in refusing to stop climbing.